Oh, it's the poop. It's the poopy of the butthole. Oh, okay. And we're live. And we're live. Okay. Let's share this in just a couple of various places. Let's go to Discord. Discord. Oh, Discord. Oh, Discord. Oh, Discord. On Sunday? No. No. This is John Pavlovitz. Pavlovitz. John Pavlovitz. Few cults survived the passing of the leaders. Mag will not outlive the departure of Donald Trump from the White House or from this earth, which comes first. Yeah. I don't know, he's fucking up, I guess, yeah. Can I, like, post stuff on PC? Oh, you can't post a story. The story has to be on your phone. Story's gotta be on the phone, so then fucking time we're gonna go on the phone and oh, okay, and this is perfect. I can just click on the link. Nice. Good job, me. Dumb. Dumb. Hello. I'm just posting to my Instagram, and then I'm gonna start with the shorter videos first. So 1 second. Oh, or you could just leave. Yeah, fine. This is a crazy face. This is my damn girl. In the long world. Gotta pick a good song. Gotta pick a good song. Ooh, maybe I'll do Fight for Fighting. Let's see. Oh, actually, no. I want to do this new song that I like. Is it on here? Rewind. The exit. Everyone. Yeah. Okay. All right. I did my obligatory post. Let's see if anybody wants to click on in. I'm gonna let that post. Let it 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 post. The exit won't get on to you. The exit won't holding on to you. No, not Destiny.gg. Oh, he's still chilling? Wait, really? Oh. Well, shit. Okay. Usually he's not up this late. What a guy. What a guy. What a guy. Okay. I don't know why I wanted to keep this open. Just in case, I guess. Just in case. 5 minutes if anybody joins. Okay, so actually, I don't know if I need Discord open or not. I guess I'll leave it open. This seems scary. That's what I'm sharing, right? Trump scandals erupt. Key impeachment witness on shocking corruption in crypto, AI, Putin dealings. I might have heard about all these already, but let's see.
Now on to reports of apparently rampant grift inside the Trump White House, touching on everything from tech to foreign policy. Among the new revelations, the New York Times reporting that tech billionaire David Sachs, the administration's so-called AI czar, is setting policies that could potentially benefit him personally. According to a Times analysis of his financial disclosures.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Does anybody have any level of shock about any of this? I didn't think so.
Sachs has, quote, 708 tech investments, including at least 449 stakes in companies with ties to artificial intelligence that could be aided directly or indirectly by his policies. There's also new reporting on Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who is now leading peace talks with Russia. But according to the Wall Street Journal, Witkoff's negotiations have involved a, quote, blurring of business and geopolitics, as key presidential advisors see an opportunity for American investors to snap up lucrative deals in a new post-war Russia and become the commercial guarantors of peace. The journal goes on to quote, a cast of businessmen
But that's going to be a question for the Fourth Circuit and probably the Supreme Court. Now,
it's been muted the whole fucking time, but it's okay. I don't think anybody was here. I hope nobody was here. It's been muted for a long fucking time. It's been muted for so long. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know. I thought getting a new headset I thought it was just like my shitty headset that I had for like 6 years. That was the reason it was causing that sound, but it's still doing it. Now I'm thinking it's because I have such an old fucking computer. Because the computer is also 6 years old. So I don't, yeah. I mean, so like new headset, but ancient computer. So, yeah, it's just like a little. I hate it when I like listen to my videos back. Ugh. Fuck. Damn it. This Lindsay Halligan, Alina Habba, all this shit is insane, by the way. It's not through the audio and stuff for you. No, I don't hear it IRL. That's it's only in the when I listen to it back, or I guess you can hear it now. Yeah. So it's something, I don't know, maybe it's the connection. It is a wireless headset, so it probably has some bullshit fuck. I don't know. Maybe I should just try like I don't know, it's fully charged too, so it's like low battery. I'm trying to think of all the stupid bullshit. Oh, you have somebody else here too? Sometimes I never know if it's just somebody who's just gonna pop in and then pop out. Try disconnecting your headset real quick, see if it still makes the noise. Okay, I'm just gonna turn it off. Yeah, it's okay. It was quiet. Oh my God. So I probably there's like a fuck ton of background noise too. You know what it might just be? Maybe it's just because I'm too lazy to do it through OBS. Because I think through OBS you can like fuck with the settings a little more. But I'm just doing it through like raw YouTube Live. Does the video audio still play when you're muted? Oh, it probably does, yeah. So that's what I need to get better about. But maybe I could use the hard mute on my headset. What is this? Yeah, well, because it's also the shitty one that almost like barely like. Oh wait, you know what? Wait, I think it wasn't all the way plugged in. Do I sound better? Wait, really? It's because it wasn't all the way plugged in, bro. Of course, smooth like butter. I got the fire. I'm gonna listen to it now. Yeah, I'm doing it on my phone. I got the pirate software voice now. That's all it was. Fucking cord, dude. This thing is shitty. Like that. Well, I mean, it's when it's working, good. Yeah, but like this thing, if I set it down a little bit too like roughly, it like kind of comes out a little bit. That's what happened. Let me listen to it now. Okay. Oh my God, it's so much better. God damn it. Fuck me. Oh wow. Thanks, you're a real one for that. That's Hunter IT Hunter in the house. Okay, well that makes sense. So what? And then well, that's good. That's like one thing for me to check is like make sure that's plugged in all the way, and then like before I start and everything. Yeah. Um. So wow. Well, everything before this is gonna be super shitty because it's gonna have that fucking shit. Well, I had it for the whole that other 4-hour video I had the other day, and you can still like hear me and stuff, but this is like way fucking better. This is immensely better. Still sounds good, right? I'm like nervous now. Okay. But now it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I need more brain juice, aka Baja Blast, and then I'll be back and I'm gonna finish the rest of this. And then after this, I'm gonna do Mehdi Hassan's Black Pilled. I can't tell if it's. I don't think it's Destiny actually talking to him, so it's like kind of like clickbait, but it's like him reacting to Mehdi Hassan, I think. And then the Piers Morgan Jubilee, which I'll have to watch. Scroll down into the comments, or else I'm gonna get copyrighted. Which is like so like insane. Like with my one viewer, oh my god! Like, was there a recent one? Yeah. I mean, I try to catch most of his appearances on Piers, but you can link it. I'll be right back. Oh, I forget I'm wireless, so that means I can talk to you, but I can't see what you say. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Fuck this ice. Okay. Trump is on the Epstein list. Dun, dun. I also like the 1950s version they have too. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. They can shred the docs, but the truth still exists. Trump is on the Epstein list. Yes, he is. See, that's the great thing about being able to sing is that you can just be the intermission. You can just be the intermission music. Then you can't get copyrighted, right? If I'm just singing it. I kind of want to test this theory. What if I sing something so well that my video gets copyrighted? I'm trying to think of what I can replicate really well, though. Probably like a Beatles song. There are places I'll remember. Oh, Destiny on Pierce today? Okay. You know what? Oh, fuck. Shit, I need dessert. Fuck me. Okay. It's a real quick one. That's an easy lag. Oh, shit. Yes, he is. A friend of dogs, but the truth still exists. Hope is on your mommy's list. Okay. Okay, I'll add that to the list. I'll look it up. It's just Piers from today. Tell me if you can hear me pissing. I hope that you could not. Just stuck on yeah today. Today for you, tomorrow for me. Okay. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Okay, let me look up. I'm gonna make sure I add that to my list. I gotta get another tabby tab. Another YouTube tab. Destiny Piers. Let's see. That's 1 month ago. Destiny Piers today. Oh. He was on Piers? I don't see it. What happened? What are you in some kind of club that I'm not part of? Was he on Piers? Right. He's trolling me. Destiny Piers Morgan. That's 2 months ago. 1 month ago, 5 months. I'm just gonna go right to his channel. I see the one from 8 hours ago does not have Destiny in it. Was he on like a different show? What? I don't know. We'll figure that out later because I can't find it. I was trying to add it to my list, but I don't know what video you're talking about.
That assumes that someone could or would go back and try to indict Comey again. This case is exceptionally flimsy, and the magistrate judge strongly implied that Halligan was only able to get the jurors to return an indictment by playing fast and loose with the facts and the law. That caused mean lawyers on the internet, like me, to use words like attorney grievance commission and disbarment and ethical shit show debacle. There is no guarantee that this indictment could be replicated if the government got another chance to take a crack at it. So it ain't over till it's over. But for the moment.
Okay, I think I said this when my audio was shitty, but now that my audio's better, I don't know why that fucking judge, if you're gonna fucking kill these indictments, I think that sends a good message. That's based. But go all the fucking way and do it without prejudice. Or with prejudice. With prejudice is the better way. Fuck, I always get this backwards. Need to know these things, Mr. Law School. With prejudice is dismissed permanently. Yeah, okay. I don't know why he didn't just do with prejudice. This whole thing is just not a thing anymore. I get being cautious, but like, be more cautious to think ahead a little bit.
It's over for Comey and James. Lindsay Halligan can go back to the White House for her important project of de-wokeifying the Smithsonian, which is probably for the best because it seems like this prosecutor thing wasn't really working out for her anyway.
Now, all this highlights why it's so important to get a great lawyer when you're dealing with your own case. Now, after I started this channel, every week I'd get hundreds of comments and emails from viewers who are dealing with legal problems. And they'd ask, can you help me find a lawyer? How do I know if this attorney is any good? And there's a massive gap in our justice system. It's that people don't know how to find the right lawyer for their specific situation.
True.
They're scared, they're overwhelmed, and they end up doing nothing or hiring the first attorney who calls them back.
True.
And that really bothered me. So I started to wonder, what if there was a different way? What if we could build a law firm that actually lived up to the values that I talk about on this channel? Transparency, accessibility, and putting clients first instead of chasing billable hours. A firm where you don't need to pay anything up front, and your lawyers only get paid if you do to maximize your opportunity for justice. So a few years ago, I decided to fix that problem. I decided to start my own personal injury law firm. And honestly, it wasn't an easy choice. But I realized I was in this unique position. I had this platform, this community, and the experience. Not to get rich, trust me, there are easier ways to make money than starting a law practice. But we did it because access to justice shouldn't be a luxury. Because finding the right legal representation shouldn't feel like playing Russian roulette with your future. And when you work with my firm, you're not just getting a lawyer. You're getting a team that
Russian
understands
roulette.
that behind every case is a real person with real stakes. If we can't represent you or you're in a state where we don't practice, we'll take the time to try to match you with an attorney in my personal network of lawyers. A national network of some of the best lawyers in the country who actually specialize in what you're going through, located right where you are, not just whoever happens to be available. So if you're dealing with a personal injury, a car crash, a data breach, sexual harassment, a social security or workers' comp issue, give us a call at the number on screen or click on the link below. Now, I can't represent everyone that watches this channel. I wish I could, but what I can do is make sure that when you need legal help, you have somewhere to turn to that you can trust. So whether it's me handling your case or the incredible attorneys we partnered with, you'll get the same principles of honesty and education that we bring to every video. And if you're dealing with a legal issue and you're not sure where to start, check out the link in the description. Let's have a conversation about how we can help you find not just a lawyer, but the right lawyer for your situation. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, making sure that when life gets complicated, you don't have to face it alone. Which is why when you need a lawyer, you don't just need a legal team, you need the Eagle team.
Love legal. Wait, oh shit. Thank you for asking me that. I almost just closed my stream.
Peter Baker is chief White House correspondent for the New York Times and an MS Now contributor. Richard Haas is president emeritus for the Council on Foreign Relations.
Parties are
and retired Army Colonel Jack Jacobs.
Yeah, this is pretty unhinged. I don't need to get into that more. All right. So if you're still around or back or whatever, I couldn't find the appearance you're talking about. I don't see Destiny on Piers like more recently than 2 months ago. So I must not be privy to something. Share Mehdi Hassan. This is lawful good Hassan. No, he'd be like lawful. Isn't it lawful chaotic or no? Is that's not is that an option? Yeah, it is. Or chaotic lawful. Mehdi Hassan is chaotic lawful. I don't know what they are. Okay.
I mean, what we've learned is there is nothing that some of these people on the right will not cynically abuse. There is nothing that is not beyond them weaponizing to push their agenda, to undermine everything they want to undermine. It's really depressing, but it's also in a kind of evil genius impressive. I've seen people in the White House briefing room see Donald Trump abuse a colleague of theirs, ignore their question, and they say not a word, and they just go to the next question. Quiet. You have no clothes on.
I'm just like imagining Obama points to a reporter. They ask a challenging question, and he says, "Who are you with? Fox News? You're fake news. Enemy of the people." Like it would just be Revolutionary War, bro. The conservative.
They would have had their guns out, dude. Yeah, like this, and it's like this is not even like that's not hyperbole. It's like sometimes the reason it's nice to have a fellow cringy millennial to relate to on things is because we are of similar age. We are of similar generation. I remember when this shit happened. I remember all this shit like Obama, even my dad who tried to be more of like a reasonable what's it called? Goldwater conservative, which now that I've learned a lot more about our history, I find out how not reasonable Barry Goldwater was at all. But I guess in comparison, I'd rather have Goldwater conservatism running the Republican Party than whatever Trump's fucking bullshit is. But my dad was like brain broken about fucking Obama. My dad would like he freaked out about the tan suit. I want to listen to my stream again just to like make sure that it's fine. Like I'm so paranoid about it now. I just listened to it for a few seconds just to make sure. Is it good? Sounds nice. There we go. Oh, it makes a weird like Jack and Daxter type sound. Okay. Here we go.
Would lose their minds in ways that you just couldn't even begin to comprehend how over it would
hell in
be.
the streets.
Oh my God. How
like
Trump broke
marching,
America's information system with many
storming every
somebody really kept
city
spamming me to watch
capital,
this.
state
What do
capital, I
you
mean.
make of the divide and the poisoning of the media landscape extending, or the information landscape extending to small towns in other parts of the country?
Yeah, it's depressing. It's depressing because we all kind of knew this was coming, and it is happening. I think people are in denial about what is happening at every level of government, every level of journalism, every level of the country. Just local journalism, Alex, as many of you.
He's really right. He's just so. I already feel what he's saying, dude. Like, I mean, well, it's not a problem, I guess. It's just a matter of circumstance. I mean, my thing is, I just have like a renewed sense of energy because I'm getting involved in all these new things, at, like my school and stuff. So, it's hard for me to feel powerless and hopeless right now because I'm in the wave of something that's like happening and exciting, and but it's good because that's what I want. I want to be politically active and actually try to make a fucking difference. But I understand, like, Mehdi Hassan's been at this for so long and he's been battered and broken. Like, I don't know. I just understand what he's saying because there is corruption at every level of like everything. That's what I figured out. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing with my philosophy cuck bullshit.
Man, I don't know if it ever got that. I don't think it got anywhere near as much coverage as it should have. But reading the minutes or whatever, reading the not court transcription, the transcriber of the city council meetings where the people were talking about how like we can't accept the Biden money for our city in that flooded Texas county or whatever because we know that they're going to use it to come and steal our homes. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. That's like criminal levels of disinformation. How mindfucked those people were. Jesus.
Your viewers, listeners may know, was the last trusted battle. When you look at polling of the American public, the public's kind of gone off mainstream media for a while now, not just Republicans, people on the left as well. You can go back to the Iraq War, you can go back to the financial crisis. You've seen kind of trust in media plummeting over the last couple of decades. But one area where it held up a bit better was local journalism. And I think Republicans and the right, and for want of a better word, the fascists trying to take over our country, understand that. And therefore, if you're going to, keep on...
Yeah, but a lot of local news stations lean right. So that's a really, well, I mean, I guess that's what he's saying. That's like it's a really bad problem we have like in this country. There'll be like random news stations that'll pop up. It's like local news, but they're like talking about some conservative fuck shit. I'm like, what? You're supposed to just like report the fucking regular news, like car crash today on 4th and Oak. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with the street name.
Ensuring that your followers are in a little bubble and not part of a reality-based universe with the rest of us, then ultimately that assault that we're seeing on media in Washington, D.C., on late-night comedy shows, student newspapers, has to also reach local journalism as well. And it's very easy because, again, the financial pressures at the local level are even higher than at the national level. So, I admire those editors and bosses who are supporting their reporters in places like Pennsylvania and all of these towns. But it's only going to get harder because, and we saw this, by the way, during the Biden administration with the school board meetings, if you remember. A lot of the stories, a lot of the things that roused people at school board meetings turned out not to be true. They were viral stories. They were internet stories. You now have kind of...
say the one. The big one,
kitty
that
litter.
Big stupid story that, like, again, just like a proper sanity check. Like, really, guys, that Joe Rogan took part in spreading, and even litter, he like laughed, like, "Oh, I can't believe I fell for this misinformation." How many times has Joe Rogan had like a strong opinion on his stupid podcast, and then he's like, "Look that up." I was like, "Wait, that was AI?"
I saw a video today of a boxing match between a father and a son. It made me so sad. Because there's this young kid. He looks like he's probably like 17 or 18.
No
and
way.
The father's 42. And the father beats the shit out of him.
Wait, that's
I'm like, that's your son. That's your son. And we're watching you beat your son up. You don't tee off on your son's face on television. It's crazy. That you failed. You've failed as a man. Yeah, this is it.
That's not exactly.
Isn't that's the fucking... Dude, this is the comedy guy. This is the comedy. This is... Wait. Okay. Wait, wasn't he supposed to be in like, what's it called? The fucking, that event? Content Creator Clash? But this is like an AI video of him or something? Or is it just a joke? Rogan's all sad about it. What a loser.
what was happening.
It's not? What is it?
They're not father-son.
Oh, why does it lie? It says
That's
father
what-
knocks out son
Yeah,
at
but
celebrity
that's-
boxing match.
Gotta get somebody to click on this.
Oh.
Remember when he was like crying almost about like it was just crazy. Oh, I was talking about the kitty litter story, by the way, where Joe Rogan on his show was like, oh yeah, like kids are bringing, or they have to have kitty litter boxes set up because of how many of them are LARPing as cats or whatever, or as furries. You are the media gatekeeper guy for a lot of people. They watch you, and you're their first and last stop for media literacy, as horrifying as that is. And you know this guy's just literally falling for stupid slop. He has no idea. Oh my God. This
is exactly what I said in my Apologia reaction. Apologia was like, luckily, we don't have to rely on what Joe Rogan understands. And I'm like, actually, no, you stupid fucking Canadian, who I love. You don't get it. That is the extent of truth and knowledge in this country. It's Joe Rogan. Yes. He's the end all be all of media. Well, Joe Rogan said it, so people are just too trusting in personalities in general. I was like, I guess I was ultimately happy, but I was also disappointed when my mom told me that she voted for Prop 50 because Obama said to. I'm like, okay, based. Based. You know what? That's the only time it's okay. If Obama says to, better fucking listen to that guy. He's our king. Democrat king.
Bro, how do you not have these moments and not like reconsider
there's people that
your entire stance on media?
He's our backup king if we need like a counter king.
Yeah.
voted for Biden that are doing it now. They're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview.
Was anybody really doing this? Like, that's what people are doing now. And like for actual good reason. People like voted for Trump and they're like, oh fuck, I got like fucking hoodwinked. I got gobbledygorked. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, who like voted for Biden and they're like, oh my God, I'm horrified. He's so old. He's so old. Like, what did Biden do? What the fuck did Biden do?
View, or he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple days ago? He's talking about the Revolutionary War.
By the way, this fully justifies when I said that if you were to show things that Trump has said on paper to people, they would think he's fucking crazy. But because it's Trump, it's epic, it's based, it's hilarious. They give him a pass on everything.
He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary
Oh, wait, this was something that Trump said, right?
War was they didn't have enough airports. Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's
Imagine
crazy.
If you had
Maybe it comes
any
in with
other
the embarrassment,
job,
right?
and you were talking like that,
Yeah.
they would go, "Hey, you're done."
A few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
So,
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
What?
Just for the record,
Is that fake?
it's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that.
Making the same
Here's
face.
Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. And he didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like that's you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you can tell he like messed up his words, but
yeah.
He's just, I don't know.
Like, how do you not see this happening to you in real time? How do you not see this happening in real time where you're like, oh my God.
Then they hit like look at you look at the face. Like that's how you know. Look at this fucking face. This is how you know. He's so oblivious. He's just like oops. Oops. God. I don't think there's ever been a period of my life where I have been more triggered by and feel a passionate, burning hatred for ignorance and mental retardation. And not the good-based kind of mental retardation where you're like an awesome, beautiful, amazing, wonderful Down syndrome person. Like when you have like willful mental retardation, like this man right here. That's what I don't like, and that's what I get angry about. Right? Like, and I'm actually getting serious here for a second. Like, I know it says 0, but either somebody watches this later or whatever, like Down syndrome people and people with other like neurological disabilities, developmental disabilities, all that shit, like these are some of the most engaged, thoughtful, like really just truly beautiful citizens we have of the world. So when I say the word retarded and I'm trying to use it as an insult, I'm talking about Joe Rogan. That's what I mean when I mean it in a mean way. When I'm using it as a slur, it's against Joe Rogan. That's what I mean by retarded. That's for the record. It's for the court.
This other fuck up. Imagine if you had a job, you'd be fired. But now for Trump, it's like, well, people fuck up sometimes. They make mistakes, right? It happens.
For the airports. Well, that's the thing about media these days.
It's whatever.
You gotta look into it.
I gotta say, Joe Rogan might have a reputation of not being a bullshitter, but that was some bullshit.
Anyway, fuck this guy. Sorry.
People impersonating local newspapers online. It is very hard. I mean, there's a faction of people who are just bonkers and we're never going to get through them. But there's a faction of people who are just, not media savvy or media literate and don't know where to get their news and can't distinguish between the local reporter and the Facebook page and the national reporter and the rest.
The majority of people just find it all so distasteful and uncomfortable and sort of don't want to be around it. They don't want to be involved in the back and forth between the local media and the local elected officials. And so as a result, they just don't engage. They tune out. They don't want to be seen as on one side or the other. And so they just shut themselves off from what is.
I don't know who this lady is, but she's very right about this. This is a lot of what it is. People just have this stupid perception that it's somehow cringe or bad or corrupt or whatever. I don't even know what it is. It's just negative. That people don't want to think that you're like on a side too much. It's like I'm so enlightened because I'm above it all. It's people think that that's better. I don't know where this comes from. I do know where it comes from. I'm learning more and more. It's like you're like lay epic centrism, but this has been throughout history, right? It's like if you don't raise a, because no matter what, if you're on the don't raise a fuss, don't disrupt the status quo, right? To the extent that a Democrat is too conservative, it's when they don't want to do enough to change anything, right? And to the extent that somebody on the left is too left, it means that they want to like fucking holy shit. You're like uproot the whole thing. And well, I guess when someone goes far enough right, it comes back together, right? Someone's far enough right, then they also want to fucking go crazy with it. Let's go crazy. Wait, what's that? What's that fucking song? But she's right about the centrism. People don't want to be seen as on a side. I'm not in it. Fucking scared. I just want to go to my job and be a loser. Yeah. God, anyway.
Actually a crucial resource for facts and information about how big national issues filter down to their front doorstep. Because you travel this country, you talk to people, most people aren't totally insane, but a lot of people don't want to deal with the insanity, right? So
they don't want to deal with the insanity. I think worse, they don't know about the insanity.
Right.
You know, it might sound strange to say, oh, everyone knows that Trump's crazy. Everyone. No, I don't think people quite, even internationally. Do you know how many people abroad, people in the UK, people around the world have said to me, wow, that Trump speech? And I'm like, that's our everyday life. Like, you got to see it one day of the year because, you watch the full speech at the UN. So
that guy, the Israeli dude that I talked to in New York yesterday, there were like 4 different times in our conversation where he was like, I understand what you're saying. And he's like, one time he's like, are you sure you're not being biased? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I can talk about facts for anything you're talking about. Well, he's like, I don't know. I've never heard any of these things before. I've never heard this before. I don't know. I didn't know about this thing. I've never, heard that Trump was really involved in it. And it's like nothing, right? As an Israeli who probably, my guess is, knows more about US media than any other random country, generally speaking. I mean, he's in New York, right? Yeah, just the amount of like crazy shit that just nobody fucking has any knowledge of at all.
I think people don't quite realize the insanity that has filtered down from national to local levels. Some of the local politicians these journalists are covering are way crazier than any member of Congress.
Yep.
Because, of course, there's less accountability. There's a lower bar to getting elected. It's much easier for the batshit crazy people to get on the school board or the county commission or whatever it is. And I think that's very worrying, too. When you look at some of the craziest Republicans saying the craziest stuff, they are local politicians. And therefore, you do need a robust local media to hold them to account. But the problem is that the American media as a whole, Alex, is not fit for purpose in this moment. It's not designed for this moment. It's designed for a kind of 1950s, 60s, two-party golden era, if such a thing existed, where everyone, argues during the day and then hangs out together in the evening. Chuck Schumer and my best Republican friends are in the Senate gym with me, and media organizations which all stand with each other. I remember when the Obama administration tried to move the Fox chair to a
Well, and see, and that's why, I don't hate Chuck Schumer like other people do, because he's probably telling the truth from his perspective, from his ancient dinosaur perspective. Schumer was like up and at him at a time when this was true, when different parties could stand together. Okay, for all of its obvious flaws, okay, the Reagan to Clinton neoliberal era was actually unironically the best time for America. We flourished. We were flourishing as fuck during the 80s and 90s. If we had just kept that progression, and Obama was kind of like the next step in that progression. He was going to get us out of the neoliberal rut by making sensible progressive reforms. So if we just stayed on the Obama track, we would have been just fucking fine. But instead, this country had to be, and they go, Black, Kenya, Muslim.
a different part of the briefing room. Jake Tapper led the charge to protect Fox's spot in the briefing room. How quaint those media challenges sound.
I was a person in the briefing room at that time, and I had a very much assigned seat that I would not budge from.
But that was
okay. Once again, in case anybody's listening to this or whatever, or you listen, or whoever listens to this back, because I post my VODs. Well, it just doesn't. I leave it. I don't. Whatever. Okay, Reagan was horrible because he decided to. I don't even know. I always said Reagan had to side with the moral majority in order to win, but did he? Because his maps were fat. He won bigly. Trump likes to say he won bigly. Electoral map 1980. Okay, the 1980 map alone is insane. Reagan fucking took this shit and made it his bitch. He was competing with some cringy independent named John B. Anderson from Illinois. But hold or neuter here. Hold or neuter here. Where'd the picture go? What? That's not what I wanted to do. I want to blow up the picture. What? I want to see the picture bigger. I want to see. No, it's not what I want. Can I? Oh, there we go. It's like, can I look at a bigger? There we go. Just want to see it bigger. Fuck. Wait, which one has? Oh, this one. There we go. Okay. This is 1980. Reagan fucking dominated. What's his face was from Minnesota, Mondale, right? Was it Mondale he was up against again? Oh no, Carter. Oh, his running mate was Walter Mondale. Yeah, Carter was trying to run for re-election, and Reagan fucking creamed him. Fucking creamed him. Absolutely wrecked. This map is crazy. Okay. Rhode Island went for Democrats. Obviously DC. Maryland. Delaware went for Reagan. New York went for Reagan. California and Washington and Oregon all went Republican. This was a different time. This was a different fucking time. Usually you can count on this entire Western bloc being blue. Like, this is nuts. Did he even need the moral majority? I don't think there... Also, what the fuck's going on here? This is also backwards. Alaska... Oh, no, sorry, wait. Oh, never mind. Nope, sorry. Cut that. Cut that from the VOD. Edit that out. I don't know why my brain was backwards. No, this does make sense. Alaska's usually red and Hawaii's usually blue. Anywho, then if you go to the 1984 map, you want to talk about a crazy fucking map. This map, though, this was Reagan and Mondale. Hold on. This map, though. Even Hawaii went red that time. Bro, that's crazy. Even Hawaii went red for Reagan. The only state that Mondale won was his home. This was what I was thinking. It was the 1984. Was it 1984? The only state he won was his home state of Minnesota. I mean, any little bit to give him a little bit of like saving grace, because if he didn't even win his home state, that would have just been like utterly humiliating. Reagan was so loved. Like, this map speaks for itself. This one actually does. Not like the Trump one that the conservatives now try to tout as like being so impressive. This is a fucking like Reagan had a fucking mandate in 84. Like, they were like, we like what you're giving us, Reagan. Give it to me more, daddy. This is what America said here. Like, it's undeniable. And of course DC. Yeah. But anyway, this was just crazy. I don't even know why I got on this topic. I have no idea.
Seen as a big First Amendment attack, and it feels so funny now in hindsight. And I just think whether you're local media or national media, it is very hard to cover a trend, a phenomenon, which makes you uncomfortable. You know, your point about people wanting.
Oh, because that's what I was saying. Because Reagan, like he was bad on abortion and drugs, which sucks. But Clinton wasn't great either. Clinton was just a couple steps to the left of Reagan. He got better towards the end though, it sucks because like literally if you just had Al Gore get elected, we could have just had more of what Clinton was trying to do. So, but I don't know. Clinton's image was probably, not probably. Clinton's image got super wrecked by the whole fucking blowjob shit. And now look where we're at.
Not to be in the room. You see that again. I don't follow local politics that much or local media, but at the national level, I've seen this for 10 years. I've seen people in the White House briefing room see Donald Trump abuse a colleague of theirs, ignore their question, and they say not a word and they just go to the next question. There's no solidarity between those reporters. There's no people sticking together. There is no child saying to the emperor, you have no clothes on.
Well, I'm just like imagining, I feel so stupid saying this over and over again. Obama points to a reporter. They ask a challenging question. He says, who are you with? Fox News? You're fake news. Enemy of the people. Like, it would just be fucking revolutionary war, bro. The conservatives would lose their minds in ways that you just couldn't even begin to comprehend how over it would be. Oh my God.
Oh, and I'm not excusing that at all. I do wonder what you think about the phenomenon that is now accepted as kind of just the way things are, which is, you know, Republicans don't talk to the press. I mean, there are these kind of confections, these kind of fantasy outlets that are now populating the White House briefing room that are sort of made up far-right propaganda.
Only the ones that will play ball right? This is the issue. And this issue is actually, there's complete parity in my world now too, where for about a year or two, right, no more debates, no more critical conversations, because what people have realized is if I can just build up a caricature of what my adversary thinks, I never have to actually talk to my adversary. I can just beat up the straw man every single day. And when you live in an environment where you have 24/7 wall-to-wall news from your side politically, you don't really ever have to show the opposition in any meaningful way. Whereas in the past, maybe, you don't have the ability to saturate a person's newsfeed as much. So they're inevitably going to see something from the opposition. So you have to be somewhat tethered to reality because they're going to see something that person is saying. But now you can just flood their brains constantly with your side's logic and
true too, though.
Create whatever caricatures you want of the other side.
The outlets.
When people are so scared now of like going outside of who they trust, right? It's like, and I mean, whoever, pick your poison, I guess. People like will just like watch Hassan Piker because they're like, he always gives it to me straight, no spin, no bullshit. Ugh.
But it's become completely acceptable for Republicans. And Tom Listy talks about this. The Republicans either on the county commissioners board either don't talk to him or refer him to the public affairs official. And so what happens is if you can't talk to them, you have to talk to who will talk to you, which is in many cases Democrats. And then you become a reporter who is quoting not Republicans. And if people want to say, oh, your coverage is so biased, it's this insane negative feedback loop, right? It's like, oh, you never talk to Republicans because Republicans talk to you, but you don't talk to Republicans. I mean, like and then you lose more conservative readers. And
which is what they want, right? I mean, let's be clear. This is, as you said at the start, this is not about polarization. This is about Donald Trump poisoning the water for years to come. And it was a concerted strategy. It worked. It's been replicated. It's not just been replicated, Alex, down from national to local. It's been replicated upwards from national to international. I interview a lot of foreign politicians for a living. And over the last 10 years, I've seen them all start to sound like Trump. Right? They all use the same tics, the same verbal tics, the same abuse of the press, the same fake news defense. Why wouldn't they? They like, well, Donald Trump can get away with it. Why can't I? I don't blame him. Like, it's a use.
Oh, right. You see what he says there? This is the tit for tat thing. This is the accountability thing. I feel so stupid because this is so obvious. You learn this from birth. Why would you not repeat exactly what Trump does? And you see the massive reward there is for acting like that, right? There's no accountability. There's no punishment. There's no drawback. So why not? You should. You really should.
Tics, the same abuse of the press, the same fake news defense. Why wouldn't they?
Okay, this is where I fundamentally diverge with Destiny. Okay? Because he's a realist. He's gonna go, this is what people are doing. And because you can do it and no one stops you, that's a rational act. That's what Destiny likes to say. Unless we're going to take the word rational and fucking drag it into a back alley and rape it in all three holes and then like chop it up, throw it in the dumpster, come back for it 7 days later and eat it and then shit it out and then burn the shit and allow the smell of the word. I forgot what word we were talking about. What's the word? Fuck. Realism. Well, went off. I went too far off on that fucking. What were we? Oh my god. Hi, brain. What word were we talking about? What word was I on? We should realism. We should care about. Like Trump doesn't do it. Oh my god! My brain's melting. It's melting. Absolutely fried. I'm cooked. Wait, I just need to go back and rewind. What am I doing?
When you see the massive reward there is for acting like that, right? There's no
rational. There we go. Fuck me. Okay. Rational. Okay. You can't say that behaving this way is rational. Even if you're using some operatively correct definition or something. It is, if this thing leads to this, that is a rational action. Because for me, this was the kind of the start of it's the start of my critique of Ayn Rand. I think the fact that she forgets about like compassion and empathy are actually rooted into the way we interact with the world because our world around us involves other people, because we're fundamentally social creatures. So it's built into our epistemology to like care about other people. So that's why Rand can't. She has to include it in the ethics, which she didn't, because she didn't recognize that part in the epistemology. Right? She has to like deny a fundamental aspect of human nature to then say, well, then this is the important part when you get to ethics. It's just the individuality part, while forgetting about like what truly makes a human, like a human in our nature. Before you get to ethics, what is the is that leads to the ought? So what Destiny's going to say is that, well, people just do this, and they can do it so it's rational. I live in a world where I say people shouldn't do this. This is bad. And in fact, it's more than bad. It's wrong. It's a wrong action. It's immoral. Right? It is immoral for people to behave this way. Your morality should prompt you to act against Trump. Your morality should prompt you to like go out and be a Gavin Newsom. Right? Not just like copy Trump and then get power the same way he is in your country. You could have Trumpism too. It's a fundamentally immoral action, and you could choose to do something else. And the fact that you're choosing that is moral weakness. And it should be condemned as weakness, and it should not be called rational. Because unfortunately, that word has a connotation of something that's a good, that's a positive. That person acted in a rational way. But I think it's a total mistake for him to use that word. And maybe it's just the word I have the problem with. But when you call that an action like that rational, it really brings a counterproductive connotation that almost everybody conjures up when they hear rational. That person was acting quite rationally. Like, yes, they weighed all of the options, and it was the logical, carefully plotted out decision. No. No. That's not what that is. You want to get while the getting's good. You don't give a fuck about other people. That's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Just because you can, and people generally do, doesn't mean that you should. Why do we forget about should? Why do we forget about should? That's what I want to know. Anyway.
No accountability. There's no punishment. There's no drawback. So
love you, Steven.
But why not? You should. You really should.
Takes the same abuse of the press, the same fake news defense. Why wouldn't they? They're like, well, Donald Trump can get away with it. Why can't I? I don't blame them. Like, it's a useful, effective strategy. Yep. And that's, again, journalists are so not cut out for this moment, because it's not, oh, I will quote Democrat today, Republican tomorrow. I'll do a Democratic scandal today, Republican scandal tomorrow. It is one faction of the political spectrum wants to destroy you, wants to destroy your credibility, wants to make sure you don't exist, wants your companies to go bust, wants you to be fired, wants you to be pulled off the air. You have to acknowledge, there was a line from, was it Marty Baron, when he was editor of the Washington Post? They said, how do you feel about this? And he said, we're not at war, we're at work. And oh, what a great, I thought that was the dumbest thing you could ever say. You don't get to choose if you're in a war, right? They're attacking you. You are in a war.
Yeah. And so, I mean, one of the things that has been asked.
Yeah, true. He's right. You don't get to choose. You don't get to fucking choose this shit. You can either you can either be in it and be oblivious to it. Right? Or you can fucking just do it. Just do it.
Of people like Tom Lissy, who kind of got into this to be that kind of classical, like 1960s reporter, is
straight down the middle, man.
Exactly. You got to be a warrior. And it's with such deep reluctance that someone like him finds himself at the center of the story. But I think what you're saying here, and I tend to agree with it, is if you're going to survive as someone who's trying to document the truth and share that information with the public, i.e. be a journalist, you got to be prepared to go to battle. Like, it's sorry, but that's the hazards of the job. And that's the world in which we now live, where, it's either really a free and fair press, or you are part of the authoritarian propaganda machine.
Yep.
You also have to be willing to say this is not normal at the start of every day, at the start of every report, at the start of every segment, at the start of every piece, because that is absolutely essential.
Time.
The context is so important that we are not reporting in normal times. None of this is normal. It is not normal for the White House to be able to just pick which journalists go in the poll. It is not normal for the White House to say the AP can't come into the Oval Office because they called it the Gulf of Mexico, which is what everyone in the world calls it. It is not normal to do, have a comedian pulled off the air because you didn't like his joke, then deny that you pulled him off the air, and then have the president say, well, I was told he was going to be pulled off the air, I'm going to sue ABC now. So none of this is normal, and that context matters. I do think our J schools need to step up here. The journalism schools that are producing journalists, they're producing them still with that old school mindset of like straight down the middle and view from nowhere, and you have no biases. Journalists should have biases.
Also, view from nowhere is like really just not a compelling argument for journalism.
Anytime it's not a compelling argument,
we got cocked.
But also this idea about journalists should have biases. I mean, I've been railing against this for years. Of course, we should have a bias. We should have a bias towards democracy.
Yeah. The issue is the bias shouldn't be politically partisan, but you should be biased towards your institutions and systems that allow you to even function as a journalist. Right? Like if I have a choice between a pro-racist candidate and an anti-racist candidate and all else equal, like it's okay to have a bias there against the guy that you feel embodies your liberal democratic norms, which might include things like rule of law, which might include things like bodily autonomy, which might include things like laws against, right? It's okay to have that bias. It just shouldn't just be like, oh, well, he's Republican, so I support him, or oh, he's Democrat, so I support him, right?
Towards freedom, we should have a bias towards the truth. We should have a bias towards factual reality. The idea that you just drop that and you say, oh, well, this person told me the election was stolen, and this person told me it wasn't. That is not the same thing. To do that.
I kind of wonder if in like the decades from now, whether we will really look at COVID as the kind of breaking point in terms of
our
just
brains.
Basic trust
between
the right wing and the rest of the world. I mean, and I would say here in the United States, it just feels like half the country like fell off in a way that I think even today I haven't wrapped my arms around fully.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I don't think any of us have. I don't think we still quite understood the shock and awe of that moment. I mean, we're seeing it even now with RFK Jr. and the vaccine schedules and all that nonsense. But I think you're right on the broader issue of trust. Like you hear Republicans, you hear conservatives, you see people online.
But it's just exactly what Carlin says. It's exactly what Carlin says. I wish more people were watching this right now. It's exactly what George Carlin says. Hold on, I almost hit end stream. Hold on. This is Carlin. This is one of Carlin's best. I've grown to like Carlin a little less as I've gotten more into my base liberalism days. But this is probably Carlin's best like description of shit. Here we go. Garbage in, garbage out. Is this the good one? I thought there was like a 10-minute one. Maybe the 4-minute one's good. Let me see. This might be okay. I think that is the start of it. Oh, back in town. Maybe I'll do back in town. Garbage. Back in town garbage. Public sucks. Maybe slow quality, but hold on. This is the best thing Carlin ever said. Was this bit right here?
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah. Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. Folks, our system produces garbage in, garbage. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders.
Yeah.
Term limits ain't going to be any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here, like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for
public
somebody.
Suck.
The public
Fuck you.
sucks. Fuck hope.
Fuck hope.
Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home.
Oh, okay.
I don't
no. Okay, that was good. All right, that's it. See, this is where he goes off the rails. Now he's telling people not to vote. No, you need to vote. Carlin became too disillusioned. But this is what this is how you get there, right? Carlin was too black-pilled. He was too black-pilled. And he got to don't vote, which I don't think Destiny or Mehdi Hassan are there yet, but they're in danger of getting there if they go too far down this rabbit hole.
Often saying, well, they lied to us about COVID.
Exactly.
Ergo. And it's almost like a right-wing version of the Iraq War for the left. The difference being the Iraq War was a bunch of lies about WMD, whereas in COVID, Anthony Fauci was not trying to trick you. There really was a disease that was going to kill you if you didn't, mask up.
And people died from it. Millions of them.
Did they?
Yeah, the thing we were upset about actually had, factual basis to it. Well, yeah, what a concept. Fuck.
With COVID or from COVID. But this is the insanity. Like, they've managed to question everything about it.
Single thing.
And again, sorry to be the kind of liberal left basher, but I do think the Democrats, liberals, progressives, the left, across the board, again, acted like this wasn't a war on truth and reality and left the ground empty, the terrain for the right to occupy. So even today, it has become almost a fact of life that school closures were all bad, that it was all a big mistake, and there's no interrogation of that claim, which actually lots of experts and scientists and people who looked at the evidence say not necessarily the truth. That's just one example, but there are many examples where the ground was just laid open, and therefore the right were able to jump on and say, well, they lied to us, they lied to us, they lied to us. And again, use that in a very cynical, very deliberate way to again undermine the media, but not just the media in this case, expertise, scientists, doctors, to the point where today now RFK Jr. can be health secretary. If you'd said in 2020, Alex, on your show, if you'd gone and said, well, I'm worried that the next health secretary is going to be RFK Jr., people would have laughed you off the air. But he is the health secretary. And the only reason he is the health secretary, and even Trump was able to get away with such a contentious appointment, is because they ceded the ground to say we were lied to, we were misled, the media covered things up, the scientists were all part of a conspiracy. I think you're right. Brains were broken in 2020. It's understandable in some ways that brains would be broken. It was a traumatic, once in a century, once in a lifetime event. We're all stuck in our houses. People are dying en masse. But it was cynically abused. I mean, what we've learned is there is nothing that some of these people on the right will not cynically abuse. There is nothing that is not beyond them weaponizing to push their agenda, to undermine everything they want to undermine.
And then they'll use those phrases cynically to also undermine the other side and say they don't let a good crisis go to waste. Yeah, no kidding, right?
It's really depressing, but it's also in a kind of evil genius impressive.
I would also add to all of that. I think there was the assertion that people were lied to and the government bureaucrats were out there to just control people's minds and bodies and immune systems. There was also, and there is, this desire to rectify the loneliness and the sense of displacement and the existential dread by blaming someone for it. I think it was really hard on people, and people think back to those years and they're like, I was miserable.
It's really hard to go back in your life and realize all the times you blamed the system or you blamed other people or you blamed some problem you were having, but it's probably something you could have been doing a little better. That's the hard truth. The hard truth is that we kind of suck a lot of the time. More than we recognize. But also, that's not to make you a depressed person. Because then what people do is they go too far with it and they go and they're like hyper self-aware of every fucking little stupid little fucking thing. And then you don't do anything. And then that like adds to your problems. So don't do that either. Like either way, it's you doing some fuck shit. See what I mean? If you're doing some fuck shit, then just like stop doing the fuck shit and do normal shit. But then like don't get all like wigged out and upset about you doing fuck shit and like be all sad about it. Feel like you broke something you need, fix it. If you broke a heart that you need or love, fix it. Apologize, make amends, and then move on. And then move on. Don't waste your fucking time. Don't waste your fucking time. God, I wish more people were watching. It's like the advice channel right now. Life advice.
And I was miserable because of the left wing. I was miserable because it was someone else's fault. And people have a very hard time. I think it's an existential thing. People have a hard time acknowledging that often in the battle between man and nature sometimes wins or triumphs in the match, if not the war. But we as Americans have a sense of invincibility and we are supposed to always be winning. And it felt like we were losing, and people could not grasp that or make sense of that and accept that. And so especially Republican leaders look for someone to blame. Like it didn't have to be this way. This was not because of any fault of our own or any vulnerability that's built into human DNA. It's because of bad people who are on the left who wanted to silence you and keep you at home and make you miserable. And it's the nanny state run amok.
100% looking for blame. And Elon Musk pushed that narrative very early on. Also, uncertainty, right? We don't deal well with uncertainty. It was, oh, do you wear a mask? No, actually, you should wear a mask. And then that was sign of a conspiracy. I remember the clip of Rachel Maddow, our former colleague, going viral on the right, where she said, now you've had the vaccine, you can't get COVID, because that's what we were told at the beginning. And then people realized, actually, no, it doesn't prevent transmission. And people saw that as some kind of conspiracy as well, not as scientists feeling their way towards what is right or wrong, or through the dark for a brand new illness that no one's ever dealt with. But look, I think you're right. A lot of the conspiracy, a lot of the people who pre-2020 we would have laughed out of here are now mainstream today. And I think the COVID is that moment that, Alex Jones, who's now hanging around with the Department of Justice lawyers who are doing his bidding, according to this week's news. RFK Jr., complete joke figure, is now in charge of the nation's health. All of these people were kind of boosted by COVID and the pandemic. I agree with you. And the media has not.
Was it not enough for Alex Jones? It's not. Because some other billionaire will come and rescue them. This is the problem. So we have to deal with all. This is why we have to deal with all these motherfuckers at once. Because if you try to just step on one rat, they all come and help that one, and they revive him. We need something that's just clear him out. Alex Jones he got sued for like $1 billion fucking dollars, and he's still a thing. He's still around. Whatever. Obviously alive. It's fine. He can be alive. But bro should be in prison. Ugh. Okay. This is fine. I just would become the meme of the guy in hell.
Recovered from that. I mean, if you look at some of the big moments, I said the 2003 Iraq War, the 2008 financial crisis, all of the kind of ISIS terrorism and kind of the war on terror in 2015, 2014, where Trump jumps on that with his Muslim ban, and then obviously COVID itself, and then the insurrection. These are kind of major breaking moments, and the Republicans have just added this, building block upon block to build on the CC. We told you it's all a lie, and it's cynical. And by the way, just to go back to what you said earlier, you said they don't talk to journalists anymore. What's interesting is, and that's true, they have a safe space, which is Fox and Newsmax and all the rest, OANN.
Safe space.
But actually, you look at, for example, the CNNs of this world and some of the network news. They've gone out of their way, bent over backwards to get Republicans on air, and they are back now. There was a period where Republicans didn't go on CNN, and now you can't switch on CNN without seeing Mike Johnson and all the rest of them on all the time. Ted Cruz, and again, that requires not just CNN.
I'm so glad he's calling this out, and even Caitlin Collins, who I really like, does this sometimes, too much, where she just seems like she's trying to. And that's important to her because she's explicitly said it. I don't want to seem like I'm on a side, right? But although, you can tell where her true convictions lie because of her actions and the way she challenges Trump directly sometimes, or the way she challenges Caroline Leavitt, or, she has a history of asking really hard, hard-hitting, tough, challenging questions. To both sides or whatever. Yeah, that's important. I obviously, yeah, whatever. I'm not saying that's not. But just think, she'll have Mike Johnson on. And she will push it. She's had some good interviews with him where she's really challenged. That's why my issue is it's always the same thing, right? It comes down to the same thing. It's are you going to challenge this person? Where this was a valuable interview for you to do because you exposed the truth of this person, their hypocrisy, or something they said was bad, or a policy they have is bad. It's about how you do it, right? But that's why besides Caitlin Collins, it's who actually is a capable journalist who actually asks tough questions and is prepared and does her research before. These things are easy to evaluate when you understand what the standards are that are used to evaluate it, right? You have critical thinking skills, you have basic media literacy, right? But I can judge the other anchors on CNN and go, yeah, they kind of just let them speak, right? Or not answer the question, or just spout misinformation, right? Even I think when Mike Johnson is on, Jim Jordan, Collins will do this all the time, where she'll they'll say something, but she'll be well, according to this organization, that they said that's not true. So she'll always have something prepared to counter them, and then she'll just go into the next question. That's super giga chat of her. So well, according to the WHO, they actually said that that's not true. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about. She'll go into the next question. She won't let them retort. Yes, fucking get him.
but the media broadly, to basically pull some punches. Like Ted Cruz, in any normal universe, every time he comes on TV and says anything, it should be prefaced with, but you called for the overthrowing of the election. You voted to overthrow the election after an armed destruction. Like, we don't do that, right? We just politely park certain things.
True. That's true. On all the when they voted, I forgot about that. Oh God. It's so true. Like they were in the Congress. Yeah. True. This is so true. There's so much. It's just that's what it is. It's so much. They're relentless. It's so hard to keep up with it. You need a team. You need an army.
We don't say you. I mean, it kills me.
Do you? No, I mean, and I hear what you're saying. I sort of wonder what you make of the information landscape as we sit in it now, where you have Sinclair working to, cement the Trump legacy at the grassroots local level, not the grassroots, the local level. You have, institutional media being co-opted by people like David Ellison and Paramount CBS, which may include CNN and Time Warner in the not so distant future. You have TikTok. As someone who runs an independent media outlet that's been met with great success, I wonder how you think about getting the truth out there in the next, decade of the 21st century. I'm not going to ask you about this century because God knows where we're going to be by 2040.
I think even the next decade is ambitious. I think about the next year.
Let's try next year. Let's go for a year.
Between now and the next midterm elections and the next presidential elections, it's a huge. I mean, we are only 8 months into this presidency, and what Donald Trump has done to the information landscape, to free speech, to authoritarianism, it's everything those of us feared he would do, but kind of on steroids. Like he's done it in 8 months, not in 4 years. There's that line he said in his state after his 100 days. He said, "No one's done more than I've done in 100 days over whole terms." I was like, he's right. For once, he's not lying. That's true. He has just bad stuff. Yeah. And I think one thing that Democrats and liberals and co have two things I've always said that they've dropped the ball on. One is Supreme Court and the judiciary. Never paid enough attention to what the Republicans have done.
I'm writing a book about it, Mehdi. I'll send you
I can't wait to read it. We need it. I mean, the Federalist Society and the Republican 20-30-year plan to kind of just pack the courts.
It all started in the Reagan 80s. That's my big tease.
With Democrats AWOL, right? Never really taking it seriously. Joe Biden just kicked a Supreme Court reform report into the long grass.
By the way, Joe Biden, even as a senator in the Reagan 80s, approving future Supreme Court justices. We'll talk
Clarence
about
Thomas blocking witnesses. So that's one area that really bothers me. They've never really taken it seriously. And the other is the information landscape, right? We know the right built this amazing, super effective propaganda network online, on TV, in print. Meanwhile, Democrats are like, oh, we have CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times, and believed all this bullshit about the liberal media and never really put up a fight on the other side. And it's amazing how many, even today, I meet so many members of Congress, senators who just don't get it. They don't get what they're up against. They don't get the avalanche of misinformation. They say stuff like, they still think you can persuade voters the old ways. Like you go on a Sunday morning show, you make a reasoned argument, you put your manifesto out there. That doesn't work when the other side has an absolute 24/7 torrent of misinformation. It's like people who go on Fox, like Pete Buttigieg and Bernie. Like this debate. Should Democrats go on Fox? They're like, oh, but we go and we reach the audience. You reach the audience for 20 minutes. For the other 23 hours and 40 minutes, it's pure propaganda, right? So I don't think they quite get what has been happening.
And most of them probably don't even really watch the interview. They just watch the memes of the interview after, like, whatever fucking they do to Pete. Like the sombrero on Hakeem Jeffries was like a thing for so long. Just as like, he's brown and he's wearing a sombrero. Racism. Was so goofy and epic.
Happening and what fight they're up against and how this is not normal times, and because of that they haven't really changed their tactics, and I think that's going to be a real problem for those of us who do work in independent media. We're trying to talk to politicians and saying, hey, come talk to us, try and find different avenues of reaching people. A lot of my subscribers, a lot of Zateo subscribers, they don't really read the news at all. Whatever news they get comes from us, and we're not full 24/7 news outlet at all.
Oh, does he have his own thing now? Wait, I'm gonna look this up. Zateo? What's that? Zateo Substack is a new media organization that seeks to answer the questions that really matter, always striving for the truth. Founded by Mehdi Hasan, Zateo is a movement for media accountability, unfiltered news, and bold opinions. Oh, he opened his own news thing. Shit. This gives you some idea of what he's going to do here. Which Trump official will be fired first? Kill them all sums up Trump's policies perfectly. Bro.
So we can't provide that. But my point being is, come talk to those of us in the independent space. I think progressive politicians have left that space for far too long, whereas right-wingers understood the value and efficacy of it very, very early on, not just as a way of avoiding tough questions, but as a way of kind of getting your narrative out in a very, very...
Well, yeah, they went where they thought, they went to rooms where they thought they could be the loudest voices, right? Talk radio, that conservative ecosystem was alive and well, and that then extended to, podcasting. And then, by the way, they got their president elected, and now they populate the White House briefing room. I mean,
it's anti-establishment, right? It's anti-establishment. It's that idea of the MSM, right? Even that phrase, the legacy media, all these words we use. A lot of these came from the right. I know people on the left use them. A lot of them have their origins in the right wings, in talk radio, in AM, in all these Alex Jones folks, and Rush Limbaugh. And and today, they've always been around, but I pride myself.
Even Pacman calls them legacy media. I hate when he does that. It's like, you're just buying into this right-wing bullshit. But similarly, he was raised on it, right? How old is David Pacman? He's 41. Okay, so okay, he was 84. He's a millennial though. I mean, yeah. Okay, he's 41. I'm 34. Okay. Yeah, we're less than 10 years apart. Destiny's old. Destiny the streamer age, not Destiny the game or the stripper. He's 36. Yeah, so he's oh wait, December 12th? Oh, his birthday's soon. Oh shit. It's on the 30th. So is he? Oh, so he's gonna be 37. So okay, yeah. So we're like 3 years, basically, almost perfectly 3 years apart. So always saw him as an older brother.
Myself, sadly, such a weird thing to take pride in. I pride myself in being able to talk to people at events or like family events or parties or random strangers. And if they're on the right, I can work out within moments where they got that talking point from. Like they will say that, I'm like, Benjamin, Tucker Carlson, but think about how powerful that is. I don't think there's an equivalent on the liberal left. I just don't. I know people right wing say that there isn't. Like I talk to lefties and progressives all the time, and I go, that's the exact line they got because the right is so good at.
We are now finally starting to get this. If you want, I don't ironically or unironically because of Destiny, because of DGG. Sometimes I'll make a talking point and just because, it's just like a whole thing I happen to agree with, right, or whatever. But like, I've gotten up before, like, do you watch Destiny? Because it's like we actually have a thought leader. Okay, I know that's a little bit overly glazy, but I'm just saying, like, there's somebody, anybody at all on the left that has like a coherent train of thought, right? You can like follow from A to B. And you can like cite it as a framework to make a coherent point or like as something you can agree with and express. Like, and it's like relevant to the current political climate and like that. Yeah. Okay.
Forming the talking points, doing the repetition, and then getting it out to a kind of audience that doesn't trust the mainstream.
And that they all do it. All of them are in lockstep with the talking points too. Yep. Yeah.
But hangs on their every word. And it's really scary. And again, I don't think progressive and democratic politicians understand what they're up against.
Well, I think it's because people in the media also don't fashion themselves partisans, like in the MSM, right? I mean, it goes back to the beginning of our conversation. People are like, I'm in this for the facts. Well, at this point, the facts and information are part of, I guess, a progressive agenda because the right wing.
Science is left wing.
Well, right. Science is left wing, like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, NOAA. I mean, if you're.
Also, don't forget, a lot of the journalists, the straight news journalists, have imbibed this idea from the right that they are biased. Don't forget, there is that self-correction. You and I have been in those. There is a kind of constant self-correction, constant. That's why you have so many right-wingers on the New York Times op-ed pages, because the New York Times says, oh, we're seen as a liberal paper. Therefore, I must have Brett Stevens and all.
Yes.
Is that what this is?
It's taken a while, but yes, it's true. People are getting it. They're understanding it. Yes. The left is like obsessed with this fighting off the like, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. Look, we have right wingers that write op-eds here. Look, we hosted these people and we gave them a nice interview. Look, and it's like, who are you winning credit with? All you're doing is you're letting them invade your spaces. That's it.
The rest of them, David French and all these conservatives, they don't have socialists, they don't have lefties on their pages, but they've been told that they're liberal and that they're left.
Right,
A lot of the journalists, the straight news journalists, have imbibed this idea from the right that they are biased. Don't forget, there is that self-correction. You and I have been in those. There is a kind of constant self-correction, constant. That's why you have so many right-wingers on the New York Times op-ed pages, because the New York Times says, oh, we're seen as a liberal paper. Therefore, I must have Brett Stevens and all.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. It gives
It's
them
taken a
more
while, but
legitimacy
yes,
to
it's true.
be.
People are getting it. They're understanding it. Yes. The left is like obsessed with this fighting off the like, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. Look, we have right wingers that write op-eds here. Look, we hosted these people and we gave them a nice interview. Look, and it's like, who are you winning credit with? All you're doing is you're letting them invade your spaces. That's it.
the rest of them, David French and all these conservatives, they don't have socialists, they don't have lefties on their pages, but they've been told that they're liberal and that they're left. So they go out of their way to overcompensate. And that overcompensate, there's one thing someone pointed out. When you look at all of the Sunday shows, sometimes they have panels, whether it's Meet the Press, whether it's Facebook, whatever, all the different Sunday shows. And you'll often see on these panels, and until somebody pointed out, it never really hit me, that you'll have a conservative voice, like an actual, like someone from the National Review or whatever it is. And then you'll just have a mainstream reporter as the other side. Because it's accepted that the mainstream reporter is the liberal voice.
Yeah.
Because that person is grounded in reality.
It's insane.
I kind of wonder, and I know I asked you not to look into any kind of crystal ball, but I have.
It's only going to get worse. That's my crystal ball.
Well, right.
I don't see how it gets better, especially, I look at Hungary and I look at India.
And I was in Hungary doing reporting, and I remember thinking, oh, wow, we are way closer to this reality.
And way faster.
Way faster. Everyone in Hungary, the journalists and activists and the organizers and the advocates, people were like, what?
I need to look up more about Hungary because I keep hearing about it. Like, and it gets all the comparisons to what's going on in America, and it's just like, ooh, wow. Is Discord still dead? Ugh. The internet is so dead tonight. I just feel like nobody's like online.
Wow, you guys slid way further, way faster than we thought possible.
Way faster. I mean, Orban did it over 8 years. We're doing it 8 months. Modi in India, there's no independent media left. Every cable channel in India is now owned by a billionaire friend of Modi. Erdogan, Turkey, very similar. Rich people have bought the channels to support the AK party. This all happened over 8, 10, 15 years in these countries. Trump has done it in 8 months. In fact, in his inauguration day, we saw all the big tech bosses, many of whom had criticized him in the past.
A little bit, though, the key guy, I always forget his name, the Keys, Lichtman. That was the most valuable thing I got from that conversation, was that it's not just Trump. It's been a long time coming for the Republican movement. They've always been building up to this kind of stuff. They've always been having these types of entertainers, engaging this kind of like weird half lie, half entertainment, whatever rhetoric. They've always been doing this. This is just like the next extension of the next version of it.
These countries. Trump has done it in 8 months. In fact, in his inauguration day, we saw all the big tech bosses, many of whom had criticized him in the past, the Sam Altmans and the Mark Zuckerberg.
I mean, this is what starts to make you feel like, oh, and history is inevitable, and there's really no way out of this track run. But there is, because history also has times where we took sharp turns, right? Trump could be a super incompetent, bumbling, one-term Republican president, and because he happens to be a Republican, when the shit hits the fan, we could get the next FDR. And he could be the super based epic one that finds a way to stay in longer because he's doing such a great job, and we actually get a real constitutional amendment passed because the country loves him so much that we're willing to do it. You could, if it literally is super lame. It's the lamest answer in the world, but it's literally when there's a will, there's a way. That's all it is. When there's a will, there's a way. If enough of the people support you and your mission and the shit you want to do, you will win. Donnie showed this. The billionaires could not, the billionaires, they could not defeat him because he had too much popular support. There's like a critical mass of popular support, and it cannot be defeated because it's just math. It's just numbers. That's all it is. It's just pure numbers. So even though they're right to feel a little black-pilled, okay? They're sad warriors of the left. History's not inevitable. We shape it while we live it.
They were all lined up loyally behind him. Tim Cook, all these people who once attacked Trump fell into line. Then you have the Ellisons immediately taking over, as you said, CBS, maybe CNN, TikTok. Obviously, Fox is still a dominant player. You look around and you're like, wow, in 8 months, he's done to our media landscape what other authoritarians have taken 8 years to do. That is super scary, especially when the American media obviously is so dominant in the world.
That's really bad.
America. It's English language. It's propaganda being pumped globally from these outlets. And that is super scary. So I don't see an easy way forward. Even those of us in independent media, we still rely on the big tech bosses, right? We're still on the social media platforms sharing our stories and our clips. So it is very worrying. Unless the Democrats can get their acts together, get off their asses, win back control of some levels of power, and then use that power to somehow rebalance the playing field in those two areas I mentioned, the judiciary and the media, we are in serious long-term trouble.
I wonder, again, playing the role of philosopher king, Mehdi, there's part of me that thinks this future that awaits us is like a feudal state of information where people basically don't believe anything unless they see it happen. Because we didn't talk about AI, but I'm not qualified to talk about AI right now.
Well, we're super fucked with AI.
We're super fucked with AI.
There's a YouTube video doing the rounds of me talking about Saudi Arabia, and it's not me, but it sounds like me. I thought it was me. Somebody sent it to me. Said, wow, this is a really interesting monologue from you. I'm like, that is not.
Like in some ways, I don't know if this is hot take or not. I actually don't think the AI shit matters that much for political stuff. People have been lying in media for decades. Like the lies have gotten really bad over the past decade. But like, I don't know if AI.
Steven, are you about to underestimate the threat of AI right now? Did I say that word right? Underestimate? Yeah. Are you about to underestimate the threat of AI right now? Like, do not do that. This AI shit is scary. You know what? You know what? How old is this video? It's because he doesn't know about Nano Banana Pro yet. That's why. That's the only reason he's saying this. Once you've seen that shit, yeah, we're seriously fucked. We are seriously fucked. Shit is too real. And people don't question enough as it is. It trains your brain to just accept it. We're fucked. We're fucked.
AI is significantly going to change that. Like people have been able to tell lies without it. You know, people are going to tell lies with it.
It'll make it easier.
It moves into that motion.
Wow, this is what I'm saying. So you have this atomization of information, right? Everything's nebulized. Then you have the sort of disinformation, misinformation, and then you have virtual reality and artificial intelligence, which erode people's people being fastened in the real world. And I kind of wonder whether what we're barreling towards is this, like feudal state, like a pre-industrial revolution, pre-printing press even state, where it's like the only experience I know is true is the one that I experience firsthand. And like, what are the implications there for trust and information? Is there a possibility that like all of the erosion one day leads to a mass desire for institutions once again? Is that like being way too Pollyannish about what could just be
I think
Nope,
decline?
she's right.
Sorry to be the party people.
It'll happen.
I mean,
believe.
Look, if we go down this road, we've talked about, we have authoritarian precedents, right? We can look at history and see what happened in other countries and see what happened in places even more recently, like the Hungaries as well. What we don't have is we don't have a precedent for the technological side of this. So as you say, we don't know how AI will pan out. We don't know what the Peter Thiel Palantir role in all of this will be. We don't know how effectively Donald Trump will secure, or Donald Trump 2 will secure all methods of communication and how free we will be to receive that. Your point about only believing what we see, even that, like, is it what you see in your personal life? Because even what you see on TV, people don't believe. Like Charlie Kirk got shot on TV. I've seen multiple conspiracies suggesting that didn't happen. So the kind of believe your lying eyes, even that I'm skeptical of. Like I said, we lived through a pandemic, and now people will tell us it was all fake and all exaggerated, it was just a flu, even now. So I do think we don't have a precedent for the technological side of this for sure. And I think my worry with the US in particular is we are a society that has very little awareness of what happens outside our borders. So we're not aware of what's happening in other countries to try and even learn from or be afraid about. And Trump can weaponize that very well, kind of the ignorance, if I can call it that politely. And then you've got, obviously, we're a very violent society in general compared to most other Western democracies, which again plays a role in the COVID paranoia and the anti-government state and the distrust. In other countries, you distrust the government. You moan and whine in a bar or in a pub or online. Like in this country, you can go and shoot the CDC, as someone did the other day with 200 bullets, and kill a police officer, who Donald Trump and RFK Jr. never mentioned. So I worry about the violent side of things as well. And you mentioned, local journalism. We have seen attacks on the media in Trump's first term, in the Biden era, in the current term.
Somebody shot up the CDC. I even feel bad that I don't know this. CDC shooting. Shooter attacked CDC headquarters in August. And of course, it's on. Who's fucking reporting it? PBS. PB fucking S. I can't believe this shit, dude. Shooter attacked CDC headquarters to protest COVID-19 vaccines. The man who fired more than 180 shots with a long gun at the headquarters of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention broke into a locked safe to get his father's weapons and wanted to send a message against COVID-19 vaccines, authorities said Tuesday. This is August 12th of this year. Documents found in a search of the home where Patrick Joseph White lived with his parents, except he's a black man. White. Patrick Joseph White lived with his parents, expressed the shooter's discontent with the COVID-19 vaccinations. White, 30, had written about wanting to make the public aware of his discontent with the vaccine. White also had recently verbalized thoughts of suicide, which led to law enforcement being contacted several weeks before the shooting. He died at the scene, frightened of a self-inflicted gunshot, and so he fucking did it and then killed himself. After killing a police officer, he killed someone? Well, do that. Well, because he fucking killed himself. So then now he's irrelevant because he's dead, right? This is so crazy.
I know that people, whether you're on the right or the left, wherever they go, have to travel with security now. That is our new reality. It is. We got to weigh all of that in there in terms of what people are going to do about it. So no, unfortunately, I'm not. Look, I'm a hopeful person, but I don't think hope and optimism are the same thing. I am. I have hope that we will get through this, but I'm not optimistic.
Well, you have to have hope. You started a media company.
Exactly. Right? And also I'm a person of faith, so the hope comes with it. But optimism is very different to hope. Optimism means, hey, we'll be fine next year. No, we're not going to be fine next year. I'm super pessimistic. I think things are going to get much worse before they get any better, and they're only going to get better if we keep at it, despite our pessimism.
Mehdi, you're a fount of wisdom and information. Thank you for taking time out of your important work and busy day to do this. I really appreciate you.
No, thanks so much. Congratulations on the podcast.
Thanks, bud.
Wow.
It is Thanksgiving, which means we are required by law to express gratitude. Luckily, I am really, truly grateful, especially to all of you who have subscribed to this YouTube channel.
What? Oh boy, we got a meme. What's this? Hold on. Our queen?
This is my impression of a social media app. Open me, open me, open me. Ooh, you open me. Here's something you're interested in. Refresh before you could click. Never find again. Blah.
This was covering, but was that De Laguna? De Laguner? De Laguner. Oh, okay. I really want to watch this, but now it's got really fucking late. Also, nobody hung out with me except for Based Hunter tonight. I'm so lonely. I even went and pathetically begged on social media and told everybody how lonely I am, and nobody showed up. Besides the real ones, the G's. I want to watch this Jubilee, but also it's gonna be super fucking lame because was Erudite here too? Oh my god. Dude, and then I've been watching Z's clips. Apparently she just calls out Parker right then and there for being the one who started all the wokey shit. Fuck you, Parker. I forgot Parker was in on that too. I like to think it was just Dean. Because he just always seemed soy to me. Parker always seemed a little less soy. But he's still in kind of the Dean Withers camp. What is wrong with those two? They could be like cool and base. Like Harry Sisson's great, Adam Mockler's great. Like they're the same kind of like they appeal to the same demographic. But they're just so soy. God. Yeah, like Parker's not as bad. I've just seen so many countless examples of Dean Withers just being so fucking cringe. Parker has been okay. Yeah, but anyway. I'll watch this tomorrow. I'm going to bed. I am not a crook. Well, we're gonna end the stream right at 2 hours and 30 minutes.